Yachamu biem yadobia say Edamas say that's why kuta yes, subscribe to the channel now for my journey on daily basis. I mean, audio notification no bell no to honor. Anytime you post a video biano, ubenya kwenya na fe watch be straight and then why enjoy football analysis yeah the bremo almost every time be about games across Europe. Now European leagues ni we are second week and some results are confirmed so far. A few months ago na United and Fulham match in the and then Yenya Chelsea beating West Ham by 5-1. And we are Joker says 2 goals when Arsenal Leeds United by 5-0. Manchester City surprisingly at Nafima Spurs have shown a community almost so end to me anti 2-0. And we call La Liga anymore. FC Barcelona from 2 goals down. Ebe 3-2 and Oma make your intention is very clear. Eti yaba be bubo so kakra na ya review games no na ya hwe how ani si call some of these important venues na ya dey uncommon as minimum Mr. Obiem so be subscribe to the channel na fi why part of this family. True football fans live on TikTok and I feel live on YouTube. Ukwa obenya isi research abenya Kofi Labiwa Kofi akwa ba boko de
senior major so nyame adom bibia fine so ho ye de
nyame adom ya no mani bi e bende
United abodro e de no mani bi ya ne be ye that's
nice. Anyway be no so and I yes chance in free war
maybe I need to me akọ
good. After defeat against Arsenal Old Trafford no a lot of the people thought say and every tomorrow that day at United TSC winning ways and performance I'm for expecting a lot after that brilliant one against Arsenal even though defeat nearby but and that's why ending 1-1 Fulham Etika through Smith Rowe after say Omoas share home Emma United it's 1-1 again ending with Craven Cottage. I mean tactics no ne how I never see call here quickly enough for the other ones.
Generally, I think, sir, in terms of performance, Madrid me say, oh, this game compare United and Arsenal na performance they drop a kakra. The intensity and the kind of aggression United at the boy against Arsenal Old Trafford last week, you know. Now me expect to say, be maintaining the same momentum, and I say. Be improving in this game against Fulham Craven Cottage, but unfortunately in terms of performance generally I think say Enediano a drop a kakra but so no in terms of scoreline there in a way again Obekase United equal form because last season both home and away Manchester United pick 3 points Old Trafford by 1-0 and then at Craven Cottage, United again won by 1-0. Home and away, United pick the wins. So definitely, if you want to move forward, there was a build on it. It is Oba now taking lead from an own goal. Now Fulham take another opportunity to equalize. Nekoye 1-1 there. Then it means that this season, United are in terms of points accumulation, right? Generally, I think that's a disappointing performance for Manchester United. For Fulham, on any day, anytime, a draw against Manchester United is a good result because United were the pedigree in terms of materials. They are way ahead of Fulham. For Fulham, I think it's good for them, right? The conversation, a lot will be centered around United and their performance. I think the reason why United performance drop and the kind of changes coach and then how or started the game in terms of lineup, right? The decision to start Ahmad and put Obiti said Diego Dalu on the bench. No, I didn't get it because this is an away game, right? At some point you need your players to defend, and Makase Ahmad, no, the best he can offer is to attack and get something for United. Sebastian team defender, he doesn't have that kind of defensive abilities, no, and to put him ahead of Dalu, I thought it was a problem, right? Again, knowing Ruben Amorim from Sporting Ebenyano, Sani 3 back, 3-4-3-1, and I said 3-4-2-1, no, Ninano, anytime Biano, who say in front of the back three, no, right, and two defensive midfielders, and to play Bruno Fernandes and then Casemiro in front of the back four, no, I think it's a problem, right, because Bruno clearly say or corner Nimua. He's much more efficient and effective. And he's out the neighbor deep in the midfield now, in a way, one limiting, right? And he to play Cunha and then Fernandes in the same team at the same time, no, is a problem, right? And then the decision to start Mason Mount ahead of Benjamin Sesko, I think that is a problem. He needs to give Sesko the confidence to play, right? Because Mason Mount, yes, he's good, he's workaholic and all of that, but a Banenimi will pass only the attack now. He doesn't have the ability to do that, right? Yeah, operating as a supporting striker, with me some goals, but to rely on him, either right wing, left wing, or as a number 10 or a leading striker, no, a lot of goals from Mason Mount. And I think it is about time we push Benjamin Sesko, right, to lead the attack, because the reason why Kofani buy is not to put him on the bench. Zegzi, Hoyland, Omunano, they were leading the attack for Manchester United. It didn't work. That is why we say Ope, another striker. So we bring in Sesko, and to put him on the bench, I think that is problematic. Moving forward, my thinking is that they will say Amorim. It missed the individual players now who, where and how to play them to get the best out of them. All in all, I think that as a United supporter, so he disappointed say United and picked the 3 points our Craven Cottage, and you can understand, because last season they went there, even though it was a slim win, but they went to there and they picked all the 3 maximum points. My thinking is that a disappointing results, disappointing performance for Manchester United.
Disappointing scoreline, yes. To every Man United fan out there, my person my team also the comment section, but that's the view of Kofi Labi. I'm sure the other games, so interestingly, Arsenal smashing this by 5 goals to 0. Results are not results are not man for expect to say Arsenal for person to maybe this season also make your own statement, and as a statement win against Leeds United, and I'm here that with ease with Joker scoring twice.
Yes, I think that very, very positive for us now, right? Last week a very difficult win at Old Trafford, coming back at home to play against Leeds United, even though Leeds also won against Everton in the first week, right? But clearly was expected, say Arsenal ever picked the 3 maximum points. The next surprising me the number of goals Arsenal share. I didn't think they were going to score 5 goals and because so we take time Leeds United against Everton. They were very, very okay, right? Playing around. I mean, on the day they were very convincing, even though Everton not only overly defensive, right? But they gave a good performance. I was not expecting Arsenal to 5 goals against Leeds United, but I mean it's very positive, especially when you have Gyökeres scoring, because this season we are sure say anymore what year Arsenal better rely on Gyökeres more, and a lot is expected of him. He comes in to the Premier League from Portugal, Urbano. I mean, he was coming with at least 39 league goals, right? A lot is expected. The first game against Manchester United now, when you go, not just a goal, but I mean, general performance is not convincing. I think that for him to come back in that manner, scoring and then also getting the second through penalty shootout, I think it's fine. Almost everything on the day, now a positive for us now. The Ghana seem to be sure say Omamiki that huge statement. They say, I mean, they are in for the title this season.
Okay. Arsenal winning 5, not Arsenal and Kwan they say 5. Chelsea should say 5. But I'm gonna early scare from West Ham. Lucas Paqueta is the first goal. I mean, a goal obviously. Me sure as a Chelsea fan not too happy because of Sanchez. I mean, some of these. Yeah, I can say, Bobby say, "Sha, your striking ball now there, but goalkeeper no." I'll consider such goals here now because to some extent there are certain balls we are in who but goalkeepers be brave save, and that was one of them I shared Sanchez the other day. But I mean generally it was an An important win for Chelsea and very convincing win for Chelsea after say Kupama Ipra during the warm-ups near there. But some reason why Chelsea to me manages 5 goals every need 3 points comfortably.
Yes, I think that so her performance generally, you may not be happy with Chelsea as a team, but you say sometimes in the league, what you need is that even when you are not playing well, you get results, and that is what happened between Chelsea and West Ham United yesterday. But on the part of West Ham United, I believe that coach, in Graham Potter, he can do better because individually they have very good players. Other coaches are using almost average players to perform, right? They said here Oliver Glasner area or Crystal Palace, right? And he needs to do more. But that particular incident, on that particular occasion, Chelsea didn't defend well. The goalkeeper was poor because I thought, say, the best option at that time, I was saying, in the left hand, echo for the ball, but he decided, say, or the second right hand, it was too late. He could have done better, but I mean, give Paqueta that space and the manner in which was striking, I think that credit also goes to Paqueta. But generally, it was a nice way for Chelsea to bounce back. We say now the conversation around Chelsea, after the Crystal Palace game, positive, and a lot of the Chelsea fans were disappointed. I mean, the win gives that confidence. They say the team is back and can compete for the title. So in 2 games, 4 points for Chelsea. They've scored 5 goals and they've conceded 1. I think all in all is good, but I am always saying, the coach needs to put an end to try and error, right? Almost every time trying to introduce something and all of that. For example, in terms of Estevao replacing Kopama there, it's understandable because of injury, right? But the decision to play both Dilap and Joao Pedro in the game, now Akwese Pedro no reliable in terms of goal scoring. Almost every time being far away from the box, I thought it was no good. These are the things I'm moving forward. I think the coach can work on, but generally it's a good win for Chelsea.
Okay, and about Pep Guardiola, man for say Newman is a canon, but people are forgetting that on Matchday 1 or 4 away Wolves, but Man City transfer Spurs question by 2 goals to 0. Joao Palhinha on the share second goal after Brennan Johnson actually the first goal for Spurs, and it was a comfortable win, very comfortable win, back-to-back wins. It's hard for Spurs Premier League.
Yes, I think on that particular occasion, senior, I was here to credit Emma Thomas Frank more than trying to find fault with Pep Guardiola. The reason why me person about fault with Guardiola is the fact that last season most of the top performers a performance ever from. So if you look at the game, he was playing a lot of them from the bench. I would try say new players will be introduced. So clearly you see that sign from a manager who said some of the players may letting it down. He needs to make a change and he's doing it, right? Just that it didn't work. You see, the Uncle finisher Thomas Frank is proving a point. And I've already said this season, let's watch out. Spurs is likely to be the surprise package of the season. Thomas Frank is working so hard with the team. He's really arranging them. And even before the start of the game, my comments on that game, let me brief. And I remember clearly saying, City may start as the favorite because of Omo pedigree. I mean, the vibe around the team.
The fact that Omo go home.
Absolutely. It's hard. But Thomas Frank side near dangerous. In the end, when I saw Spurs are questioned by 2 goals to 0, it wasn't surprising. I believe that it was a good work, hard work from Thomas Frank and then the guys, and they are in for business. And it will not only be about City. Any opponent, Spurs, they have a very difficult game at hand because they have good guys in there. Take your time. Bentancur, Papi Matassa, Van de Ven, Christian Romero, Spence, and then Pedro Porro, Kudus, Johnson, Richarlison. Brilliant players. So, credit to Thomas Frank for that win.
All right. One of the biggest fixtures of the Premier League weekend, remember Barcelona had much now, the north side of England, and Newcastle will host to Liverpool, the champions of England, and Newcastle against Liverpool, almost every time they are a tough game for either of the side. But of course, I mean, Liverpool they meet me on any day.
Seriously, I feel for Eddie Howe. It's not the best time to play against Liverpool, even though or at home. I'm saying this because we know the issues between the club, the manager, and then their leading striker, Alexander Isak, right? And I believe that in a way, at this organizing team, anybody I will take time today to watch Crystal Palace at home against Nottingham Forest, right? Ube who say the absence of Eberechi Eze, any effect on the Crystal Palace side. So sometimes if you build a team, now one key player free man, it is organizing the shape of the team and the rhythm of the team. And I believe that is what Newcastle ever suffer from moving into the game against Liverpool. If you remember in the Community Shield, Liverpool lost on penalty shootout to Crystal Palace. But in the first Premier League game, they had that scary moment against Bournemouth. Eventually they came back. Liverpool that defending champions character behind them. They have the pedigree, they have the character. I mean, they are winners. Among four people, they say all time they are the best team in England, even though United fully believe it is Aguabo, right? So that comes in to put Liverpool at a certain position, only very, very advantageous moving into the game. Don't forget, their main man are already in Hugo Ekitike in the last 2 or 3 games. Has proven a point that he's up there to do something for Liverpool. The fact that Isak will not be around and Liverpool almost all their players available, I think that the best for Newcastle United tomorrow, Monday Night Football will be a point. I am predicting a double chance for Liverpool, at least. That's how I see it.
All right, you're wrapping up with La Liga and Barcelona, like the last time, I mean, more actress or to me has a defend the league, Even at 2 goals down against Levante, to me, and almost every time, Lami Yama best to read the headlines. The involvement of game money, how Barca see make it that comeback was so good. And I mean, credit to Hansi Flick and then the guys, But I mean, 3 points for Barcelona means still on course to defend.
Absolutely. Flick is doing a very good job with Barcelona sideways, senior. And I think that we have to give him the credit who deserve it. The point really is that sometimes if you want to win, it doesn't matter how difficult a game is, even when the day is very difficult, right? The ability to still come back, fight and get the needed 3 points, they are very important. They had a very tough game, but in the end, the win matters and they got it, right? The problem with how everything went there, the 2 goals Barcelona conceded, right? Sometimes it do be normally crucial. If you don't reduce the rate at which you concede goals, it can really hurt you. And last season, Barcelona had a case to learn from against Inter Milan in the Champions League. Both home and away, Barca could concede 7 goals against an Inter Milan side. Age was rookie. It's moving into this season. One of the things Barcelona would have to do to make sure somebody defend the league title is to reduce the number of goals conceded. And in that manner, the way a man conceded 2 goals, I wasn't happy about it. But I mean, in the end, they've won. But they can do better defensively.
Okay, all right. So, well, some of the important games, of course. So, over this weekend and team Israel also contrary views be between us comment section one of na Odiamaye. But of course, I'm very pleased to subscribe to the channel. True Football Fans on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. So yeah, now share videos now. A new channel after you go to developing. Hopefully, time to come. Be able to find it. But for now, so more share videos in my we are maintenance.
Absolutely. I will share, I will subscribe, now hit the notification button, very important, so that any video you get a notification who say this. Because sometimes, I mean, you listen, you watch now, so the view atom, right? Your promises it will not be about just the major leagues in Europe, but any game be of interest to the football fans, they will have it here. For example, Napoli are winning the first game in the Scudetto. Very good start for Antonio Conte. Also making a point, say this season he is the man to beat, right? And two of the key players were on the scoring sheet, especially Kevin De Bruyne. After Senna McTominay, I will pin the scoring sheet for Napoli. Oko, your friend said Germany are same. I mean, a point has been proven. Say there is no team really positioned to compete Bayern Munich for the title.